So my name's Monica, for those of you who don't know me. Thanks for being here. We're going to do a flow today that's Ashtanga inspired. We'll start standing and then we'll make our way down to the floor. So whenever you're ready, let's come to the top of the mat into Samasthiti. With the big toes touching and the heels slightly apart. Let's bring the palms together and we'll just start with an Om. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale the hands back down to your side, and we'll start with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, bringing the arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat, bend the knees if you need to, relax the neck. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, step or jump back into a plank, lower the knees to modify, bend the elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog, full breath out. And we'll be here for 5 breaths. And just taking this moment to settle into the body, settle into the breath, and start to establish that even inhale and exhale. So matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. A smooth, steady breath. One more. Fully exhaling. At the bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward. Step or jump to the top of the mat, back into half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, come to stand. Pressing down through the feet, reaching up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Again, like that. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, full breath out. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Draw the lower belly in as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog, full breath out. And settle. Settle into the body, settle into the breath. Drawing the lower belly in and up. And as you breathe in, feel the expansion through the rib cage, all around the rib cage. Legs are strong, lifting the kneecaps, pressing through the hands. One more breath. Fully exhaling. The bottom of your exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward. Step or jump into half lift. Exhale, fold forward, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, come to stand, pressing through the feet, reaching the arms up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Again, inhale, arms over your head, moving with the breath. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, press through the feet. Exhale, step or jump back, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, micro bend the elbows. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep, steady breath, settle in. You're spreading the fingers wide, pressing through the hands, and wrapping the shoulder blades around towards the front of the body to spread the upper back. Draw the lower belly in. And as you keep pressing through the hands, reach the sit bones up and back. One more breath. Fully exhale. At the bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Press strongly through the feet as you reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. One more. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold. You're moving with the breath. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, full breath out at the bottom of the plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep, steady breaths. Good. Listening to the sound of the breath as you tone the vocal cords for your Ujjayi breath. Let's take one more. Fully exhaling, and at the bottom of your exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Press through the feet, reach up, wrap the shoulder blades forward. Exhale, Samastitihi. Surya Namaskar, be inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the chest, keep dropping the tailbone. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, back heel down. Inhale, Virabhadrasana, lift up, palms press, gaze up. Exhale, come back down, step back. Chaturanga Dandasana, lower the knees if you need to. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Inhale, press through both feet as you reach up. Exhale, come back down, step back, tone the lower belly as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose if you need to rest. Deep breath, settling in, coming back into the breath, back into that rhythmic breath, in and out through the nose. Steady breath, smoothing out the edges of the breath. Good. One more breath. The bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the chest, palms press, keep reaching through the pinkies. Exhale, Samastitihi. One more like that. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, lengthening. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, lower the back heel. Inhale, press down, reach up. Exhale, come back down, moving with the breath, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, left foot forward. Inhale, keep bending into the left knee. Exhale, come back down, draw the lower belly in as you bend the elbows. Inhale into upward facing dog, press through the shoulders. Exhale into downward facing dog or child's pose. Settling into the breath. Good. Keep widening the upper back, wrapping the shoulder blades around towards the front. On your next exhale, fully exhaling, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the heart, lift the arms. Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, Samastitihi. Okay, Padangustasana, bring the feet hip-width distance apart. Inhale, fold forward, catch the big toes, and lengthen through the spine as you press through the feet. Exhale, fold forward. As you relax the muscles along the spine, relax the neck. And we're pressing down through the four corners of each foot, lifting the kneecaps, lifting the sit bones, hollowing through the front of the pelvis. And feel the spine releasing out from the pelvis, relaxing the neck. Crown of the head moves gently towards the mat. Keep the breath moving. One more. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift the heart. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way back up to the top. Exhale into Samastitihi, top of the mat, feet together. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Press down through the feet. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Remember, you can lower the knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe you're lifting the thighs and the legs are strong. Maybe not. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring that right foot forward to the inside of the right hand. Lower the back heel, and we're going to come into Trikonasana, triangle pose on the right side. So the right hand stays down and the left arm reaches up. If you need a variation for this, you can bring the block to the floor, placing the hand on a block. You can also bring the hand to the shin. Good, and you're starting from the ground up. So pressing both feet down and away from each other. Strong legs. Draw the lower belly in and feel the spine lengthening out of the pelvis. Smooth breath, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Keep lengthening through the spine. Good, let's just take one more breath here. Smooth breath. And on your next exhale, we're going to gaze down and move into half moon pose. So the right hand is going to shift to the top right corner of the mat, onto the floor or onto a block. Pick up the left leg, reach the left arm up. And you can stay gazing down or slowly make your way to gaze up towards that left hand. You're rooting down through that right heel, strong right leg. Draw the lower belly in and feel as if you're reaching out through all four limbs. Feel the expansion in that without arching the back. Stay connected to the core strength. On your next exhale, you're going to slightly bend the right knee, step the left foot back, the left hand down to the mat. We're making our way into a high plank. Step the right foot back. Inhale in the high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So on the other side, left foot forward. Trikonasana, spin that right heel down and reach the right arm up. Good. And if you feel your torso coming way forward, then just come out of it a little bit, lift that left hand, and see how far down you can bring that left hand without bringing the torso forward. Keep the torso over the left leg. That'll really allow you to stay connected to the feet so that the feet can root down through the ground. And then from that rooting down, you can feel a little bit less strain through the torso, through the shoulders, through the spine. Find the breath. And you feel like your legs are externally rotating. So the sit bones are coming towards each other. And the tailbone reaches towards the right heel. Deep breaths. On your next exhale, gaze down. Shift into half moon. So left hand comes to the top left corner of the mat. Pick up the right leg. Reach the right arm up. Good. And I like to flex that right foot, which helps me to keep the tailbone reaching towards the right heel so that I don't go into a back bend. Even though it might feel like you can expand more, you actually can't. So find that tailbone reaching towards the right heel so that you can connect more into that left heel, reaching down, and you can find stability through that. One more breath here. On your next exhale, bend into the left knee to make your way into a high plank. Inhale in the high plank, press through the shoulders, reach back through the heels. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, Trikonasana B. Bring the right foot forward. Lower the back heel. Left hand is going to stay down on the floor or onto a block. And the right arm reaches up to come into a twist. If you want to deepen the twist, you can bring the left hand to the outside of the right foot. Press evenly down through both feet. Draw the lower belly in and feel the heart reaching forward for length and up to deepen the twist. Smooth breath. If it's too much strain on the neck to gaze up, just gaze to the side. One more breath, smooth breath. Make sure the legs are strong, rooting into the ground. On your next exhale, gaze down. We're going to do twisted half moon. So shift the left hand towards the top left corner of the mat. Pick up the left leg. Now the right hand can be on the hip, or it can be reaching up. Twisted half moon. Again, reach out through all four limbs. And that hand can be on a block if you need to, especially if you have the hamstrings are a little bit strained right now. Lift the chest a little bit by bringing the hand to a block. Draw the lower belly and feel that hollowing through the front of the pelvis to really engage the core. Press through the right foot and feel that stability as you reach out through all four limbs. One more breath here. Exhale, step that left foot back to the floor, right foot back to the floor, high plank, inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do all that on the other side. Left foot forward, back heel down. Right hand stays down, left arm reaches up. Pressing evenly down through both feet. Strong legs. Good, so nice. Smooth, steady breathing. One more. Exhale, gaze down for balance. Twisted half moon. Right hand to the top right corner of the mat. Onto the floor or onto a block. Left hand is on your hip or it's reaching up. This posture is harder than it seems, at least for me. So stay with it, stay in the body. Keep rooting through that left foot. Keep reaching back through that right heel as you reach forward through the heart. Find that stability by drawing the lower belly and hollowing through the front of the pelvis, spreading the lower back. One more breath. And as you exhale, make your way into a high plank. As you inhale in the high plank, press through the shoulder blades, reach back through the heels. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, Parshva Konasana. Inhale, step the right foot forward, lower the back heel, and we're going to open to the side of the mat. So the right hand is on the outside of the right foot, and the left arm is over your head. You could also put a block, so place the hand on the block, or bring the forearm to the thigh. And again, feel that connection to the earth. Pressing the feet down and away from each other, drawing the lower belly in. And as you root down through the outside edge of the left foot, you're reaching through the pinky of the left hand. Good. As you exhale, we're going to come down, bring the hands to the inside of the right foot. So we're like in a lizard lunge. And now you can stay here, or if you'd like to deepen it, you're going to bring that right shoulder underneath the right knee. It's totally optional. So you can stay in the lizard if you want. And then for an extra challenge, press through the feet, reach the arms out to the side. Keep bending into the right knee. Draw the lower belly in. You can reach the arms out to the side with the fingertips on the floor. That's another option. Good. Just one more breath wherever you are. Good. Exhale. You can come down. Step back into a high plank. If you want a fun transition into high plank, you can come to Kundalini. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, left foot forward. Back heel down, extended side angle. So you're either bringing the forearm to the thigh, the left hand to the outside of the left foot. Reach the right arm over your head. Good. And again, see if you can find that stability by dropping the tailbone towards the right heel. Draw the lower belly in. And then reach through opposite directions. Outside of the right foot, pinkies reaching away. So you're not reaching by coming into a back bend. You're reaching from this place of stability that's connecting you into the ground. One more breath here. Exhale, make your way to lizard. So spin that back heel up. You can either have the hands, both hands on the inside of the left foot for lizard, or bring that left shoulder under the left knee. Keep that back heel up. Reach the arms out, off the ground or on the ground. Draw the lower belly in. Strong legs. Deep breath. One more. Stay with it. Good. Inhale, make your way back into a high plank or move through Vinyasa for a fun transition. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the right foot forward. You can lower the back heel, the back knee. We're doing Parsvakonasana B. Inhale, reach the left arm up, drop the tailbone, and twist over to the right. You can either bring the elbow to the thigh, hands in prayer, or you can bring that left hand down to the floor and reach the right arm up. In both cases, you can tuck the back toes and lift the back knee, or not. Deep breaths. And see if you can breathe into the backside. Since the front of our bodies aren't as accessible in this twist, how can you maintain that deep, steady breath by finding new places to breathe into? One more breath here. Exhale, gaze down for balance. Inhale, Virabhadrasana B, Warrior 2. Reach the arms up, open to the side of the mat, gazing over the right fingers. Pressing through the feet, strong legs. Deep, steady breaths. Relax the shoulders and reach the elbows away from each other. As you exhale, we're going to move into reverse warrior. So the left hand slides down the left leg. Reach the right fingers back towards the back of the mat. Keep bringing that right knee over the right ankle as you bring the sit bones underneath you. Breathe into the side body. One more. And as you exhale, windmill the arms down, frame the right foot. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, left foot forward, back knee down. Inhale, reach the right arm up, drop the tailbone. Exhale, move into the twist. Elbow on the thigh, palms in prayer, or the right hand to the floor, left arm up. And maybe you tuck the toes and lift the knee. Good. Keep that breath smooth and steady. If you have that back knee up, see if you can reach the right heel back as you reach the left knee forward. On your next exhale, gaze down. Inhale into Virabhadrasana B. Open up towards the side of the mat, towards the right side of the mat. Bend into the left knee. Gaze over the left fingers. And feel this quality of stability like a warrior, but you're calm and centered. So the gaze is soft, the shoulders are soft, the breath is steady. Good, one more breath here. On your next exhale, reverse warrior, slide that right hand down the right leg and reach back through the left fingers. As you bend the left knee, bring the left knee over the left ankle, drop the tailbone, stretch into the side body. Breathe into the side body. Good. Just one more breath here. Maybe bend the knee a little bit deeper. And as you exhale, windmill the arms down, framing the left foot. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more standing posture. Inhale, jump both feet forward. Bend the knees, lift the arms. Utkatasana, chair pose. You can have the palms together gazing up or the palms apart gazing forward. Feel the pubic bone and the tailbone dropping down. As you reach up through the heart, reach up through the pinkies. Draw the lower belly in. Keep the breath deep and steady. One more, sink a little deeper. Good. As you exhale, keep the knees bent and come down to the floor. Let's come into Malasana. So open the feet a little bit and bring the palms to prayer. And if you need to, you can sit on a block. Widen the feet as much as you need to. Yeah. Deep breaths. Maintain that deep, steady breath. Good. One more breath here. And let's just try here. I won't get super into it, but let's try to transition through Bakasana. So hands in front, shoulder width apart. Lift the hips. Spread the knees, bend the elbows so that the knees are coming above the elbows and a little bit on the outsides of the arms. Press through the shoulder blades, and maybe the feet stay on the floor. Maybe you lift the feet, heels towards each other, up towards your butt. Good. For 3, 2, 1. Jump back or make your way back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Legs straight out in front of you. Dandasana. How are we doing? Are we warm? Yeah. All right. So you spend all that time connecting into the ground, strengthening the legs, and now we made our way to the floor. We'll work around the hips a little bit and then move into back bends. So bring your hands next to your hips, strong legs, flex the feet, and drop the chin. So you're feeling the sit bones rooting down. Draw the lower belly in, lift the heart. Shoulders are moving away from the ear. So if you have extra long arms, then you might need to bend the elbows. Deep breaths. Feel the rib cage expanding in all directions as you inhale. Use this moment to really turn inwards and maybe notice the residue from the standing postures. What's left over? Good. And you're going to release that. Inhale, reach the arms over your head. Reach up through the pinky and ring fingers. Exhale, reach forward and either grabbing onto the feet, or if that's too far, fingertips on the floor alongside the legs. And then again, inhale, lift the heart, draw the lower belly in, and then exhale, fold as you slowly, gently release the muscles along the spine. But keep the legs strong, keep the feet flexed. If you need to, you could also bend the knees a little bit. If there's too much tension in the hamstrings, bend the knees and fold forward that way. Keep reaching the heart forward towards the toes as you spread across the collarbones. One more breath here. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. Let's take a vinyasa across the shins. Lift up or just roll over the feet. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come through to seated. Straighten the legs. Let's do Janu Shirshasana A. So bend the right knee. Let the knee fall over to the side. You could always prop the knee up if there's a lot of tension in the knee. Inhale, square the shoulders over the left leg. Catch the left foot, or again, fingertips on the floor alongside the left leg. Exhale, fold. And you're squaring the shoulders over the left leg. Left leg stays strong, relaxing around the right hip. Good. One more breath. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. We're going to stay on this side. So we're going to go straight into Marichyasana A. So you're going to plant the right foot now, and the knee comes towards the chest. When you plant the foot, make sure there's some space between the right foot and the left leg. Allow that left knee to come out to the side. As you fold forward, torso comes on the inside of the right thigh. And you can either stay here, holding onto the left foot or the left leg, and then draw that right knee back in towards the side body. So squeeze that back in so that the right foot is planted on the mat. Or if you want, you can go for a bind, so reaching the right arm forward and around to bind behind the back. You could use a strap to make your arms longer. On your next exhale, fold forward. And you want to allow the right hip to lift off of the ground to come into the forward fold. So if that's difficult for you, then elevating the hips onto a blanket could be super useful to help deepen the posture. If you have the bind, see if you can move the elbows away from each other, and that'll really open up across the collarbones and open up the heart as you come into this forward fold. Deep, steady breaths. One more. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, release. Okay, one more posture here, Marichyasana C. So we're going to keep the legs how they are. Now we're just going to twist. So option number one, hug the left knee and bring the right hand behind your back, gazing over towards the back of the mat. Option number two, left elbow comes to the outside of the right thigh. Keep the elbow bent. Keep that hand behind you, helping you to support a straight spine. Option number three, go for the full bind. You need to bend the elbow and you take the bind. This is a little bit of a more complicated version, which I won't get into because this version is perfectly fine for this class. Or for always. This is great. We're still going into a super deep twist and getting all of those benefits of twisting along the spine. Good. And you can gently press the right knee against the left elbow and the left elbow against the left knee, or whatever bind you have onto that, right, onto the left knee. So basically the left arm and the right leg press against each other. Good. One more breath wherever you are. Exhale. Slowly come out of that. Good. Now we'll take a vinyasa, cross the shins, roll over the feet or lift up. Exhale. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Let's do all that on the other side. First, starting with Janu Shirshasana A, bend the left knee. Inhale, square the shoulders over the right leg. Exhale, fold. Good. Keep that right leg strong. That's going to allow you to relax where you need to in this posture. Releasing the lower back and around the left hip. That becomes more difficult if the body doesn't have a point of stability. So make that right leg the body's point of stability. Maybe you can find that by pressing the right heel into the mat, by lifting the kneecap. Whatever makes you feel stable. Look for that. One more breath here. Inhale, look up. Exhale, come out of it. Marichasana A. Plant the left foot. And then you're going to reach forward. I like to let that knee fall out to the side, reach forward, and then bring it back in. So you can try that. This can be your Marichasana A, just folding forward, catching the right foot, or go for the bind if that's what you did on the other side. Inhale, and then on your exhale, you're folding forward. We're moving into hip flexion on the left side. So feel that movement into the left hip crease. Deep, steady breaths. One more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. And then move into the twist. So either hugging the knee or bringing the elbow to the outside, or going for the bind. Deep breaths. Remember to find those new spaces to breathe into. So breathing into the backside. So you can imagine like someone has their hands on like your middle back, and you're breathing into their hands. On the inhales, finding length. On the exhales, deepening the twist. One more. And release that. Vinyasa across the shins. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to seated. We're going to do a variation of Navasana. So I'm going to show you once, and then we're going to do it together. And I'll give you options when I show you. So we're going to do 5 breaths of Navasana. So Navasana can be either here or here. After the 5 breaths, we're going to go into a hollow body. So kind of like an open Navasana, where you want to try to get the lower back on the mat so the front of the body is super engaged. And this is one version. Another version is to place the feet, the toes on the floor and bend the knees. Either way, try to lift the shoulders off of the floor and bring the lower back to the floor. And that's what's going to strengthen the front of the body. Yeah? And then from here, we're going to come back up, bring the hand in front of the hips, lift up, exhale, come down. So it's just like a super amped up Navasana from the primary series. Ready? It's fun. This is like good core strength for if you're working on like handstands or inversions, stuff like that. All right, ready? This is like yoga core strong. Navasana. 1, 2, you want to find that space between the sit bones and the tailbone. 4, 5, open up, low Navasana, get the lower back to touch, shoulders lift. 3, 4, deep breaths. 5, and come back up. Inhale, lift up. You can keep the feet lifted or bring them to the floor. Exhale, back down. All right, so again. 1, 2, keep the heart lifted. Draw the lower belly in. 3, 4, 5. Lower down. Lower back touches the mat. So you really need to rotate the pelvis under. 2, 3, do the variation if you need to. 4, 5, inhale, crunch back in, lift the hips, exhale, come back down. Again. 1, 2, good. 3, 4, 5, lower down. 1, better to have the lower back touching and the toes touching than losing that connection and straightening the legs. Good, keep going. 4, 5, inhale, come up, lift up, exhale, come down. All right, should we do another one? Yeah, it's hard to see, get a reaction. Okay, I see some of you kind of just going for it. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, modify if you need to. 4, You're still building strength that way. 5, exhale, lower down. 1, 2, focus on the breath. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come up. And let's roll over the feet, step back into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Or maybe stay here a little bit to open the front of the body. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, inhale. Let's bring the right foot forward. And we're like in a high lunge with the hands on either side of the foot. If you want, you can place blocks underneath the hands. And then to deepen this, we're going to come onto the ball of the right foot. And then you're going to need to come onto the fingertips if you're doing that. Or place blocks underneath the hands. And then you're going to reach the right knee forward as you reach the left heel back. That's going to really open up the front of the left hip. So it feels like you're reaching the right knee and the left heel away from each other as you sink the hip towards the floor. Good. One more breath. Okay, lower the heel, lower the left knee. And then you're going to keep the left hand on the floor and reach over, catch the left foot with your right hand. Okay. We're going to open up the psoas, the hip flexors a little bit. So you're going to bring that foot as close as you can towards the sacrum. And we're going to work through all those bands around the front of the hip. So first, you're going to, bringing the foot as close as you can towards the sacrum, you're going to look over the left shoulder. So you're going to so it's going to feel like you're bringing the inside of the left leg towards the floor. So you're rolling around that left knee, bringing the inside of the left knee towards the floor. And then you're going to slowly, as you go back to look over the right shoulder, you're going to roll over the knee, moving towards the outside of the knee. And you just feel like all those different parts of the hips that you're getting into. And then once you get all the way to the right, you're going to go back to that place that felt like extra icky or like extra tight. Go back to that sweet spot, and we're just going to hold it here for a few breaths. And for me, it's helpful to turn that right foot out a little bit. And then deep breath. Send the breath into that space. One more. And exhale, release. Good. Step back into downward facing dog. And let's do it on the other side. Bring the left foot forward. During this lunge, you can stay here and you can do this exercise of bending the knee forward and the heel back. You can do it from here, or you can lift the left heel to make it a little bit deeper. I mean, and if you have that access. So it feels like the left knee reaches forward, the right heel reaches back as the hip sinks down. Deep breaths. One more. Good. Lower the heel, lower the knee. Okay. So, right hand stays on the floor. Reach over, open to the left. With the left hand, catch the right foot. And first, just bring that foot as close as you can towards the sacrum. Sometimes for me, it's helpful to come out of it a little bit, bring the foot towards the hip, and then go back in. So then we're going to start by looking over the right shoulder and bringing the inside of the right leg towards the floor. So now we're on the inside of the knee. And then slowly start to make your way to look over to the left, rolling on the top of the knee, working your way towards the outside of the knee. Be sure to get every single band. Good. And then when you're ready, go back to the sweet spot. And we'll hold it here for a couple breaths, seeing where you can release. Where can you let go? Deep breaths. Keep the breath deep. One more. Good. And release that. Make your way into downward facing dog. And inhale, let's come to Ustrasana. Ustrasana, we have a couple options. You can either just interlace the fingers behind the back and lift the heart up. You can tuck the toes and bring the hands to the heels, or you can untuck the toes and bring the hands to the feet. Or actually the last option, bringing the blocks next to the feet and the hands onto the blocks. So if you haven't already, start to slowly move into your Ustrasana, making sure to create space through the front of the body as you move into it. And then if it feels okay on the neck, you can look back. And wherever you are, see if you can gently squeeze the knees in towards each other. Draw the lower belly in, lengthen the front of the body, and lift the heart up. So it's like someone's lifting you from between the shoulder blades, lifting you up to create space and avoid compression into the lower back. One more breath wherever you are. Inhale. Slowly make your way out of it. Sit down on your heels. Maybe you're going to come into a squat to release the lower back. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's come onto the knees, into puppy pose. Again, a couple options. Bringing the elbows to the floor, palms together, forehead to the floor as the palms come in between the shoulder blades. And you're sinking the heart towards the floor. You can deepen this by bringing the blocks underneath the elbows. And then, of course, if you prefer the version with the straight arms, feel free. But I really like the bent elbow version. And then another thing you can try is to, instead of bringing the palms together, bring the fingertips together to move the palms away from each other. That helps to deepen the external rotation in the shoulders. Deep breaths as you exhale, feel the heart melting towards the mat. Stay with the breath. One more. Good. Slowly come out of it. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through seated. Lie down on our backs. We'll do some Urdhva Dhanurasana. Bend the knees, plant the feet alongside the outside edges of the hips. We'll inhale, exhale, reach the knees forward, reach the tailbone towards the heels. And then as you inhale, press through the feet, lift the pelvis up to bridge pose. And you can stay here in bridge pose, or with the fingers interlaced, or just holding onto the ankles. Or you can bring the hands next to the ears, fingertips pointing towards the shoulders, into full wheel pose, where you're bringing as much as you can the chest over the hands, but keeping the elbows moving in towards each other to spread the upper back. I'm going to spread the entire backside so that you don't create compression, and feel the front of the body lengthening. One more breath here. Exhale, coming to the top of the head or just coming out of bridge pose. We're going to do it 2 more times. Inhale, back up. Maybe you're walking the hands in, going a little bit deeper. You're pressing the hands down, pressing the feet down. Feel like you're lifting the sacrum up towards the ceiling. Deep breaths. Exhale, come down. And one more. Remember, you can go back to bridge pose if you need to. Try not to let the knees splay out. Move the knees in towards the center. And the feet are parallel to each other. Then inhale, you can stand up if that's accessible, or just come down out of it, lying down on your back. Good. And if you stood out of it, nice. You can fold forward. Or you're lying down on your back, hugging the knees into the chest. Either one. But if you didn't stand up out of it, you don't have to come into the forward fold. But it does feel really nice to release the spine. Okay, let's all come to a seated position. And we'll just do one more release for the spine. So you're going to come into this like diamond shape. It's like a really open Baddha Konasana. And fold forward. So you're bringing the head towards the feet. And then actively move the knees towards the floor. And feel the lower back releasing. Good. One more breath here. Inhale, come up. And let's lie down. We'll just do 2 of the shoulder stands. So lying down on your back and bringing the feet over the hips. You can stay here, or you can go into the full shoulder stand, lifting the hips and bringing the hands to the lower back. You really want to move the shoulders away from the ears. Chin away from the chest. Reach the toes up. See if you can deepen and slow down the breath just a little bit. Good, one more breath here. Exhale into Halasana, so bringing the feet over the head. And if the toes touch the floor, you can interlace the fingers. And bring the shoulder blades a little bit closer to each other. So shrugging the shoulders, moving them away from the ears. And feel like you're reaching the shoulders towards the front of the mat and the crown of the head towards the back of the mat. So away from each other. As you reach the sit bones up. Two more breaths. And exhale, roll out of that vertebrae by vertebrae. And when the hips touch, slowly lower the legs. Try to keep the legs straight. Good, and then when the legs land, you're going to catch the back of the thighs, press into the elbows, and come into Matsyasana. So lifting the heart and crown of the head comes towards the mat. And you keep pressing the elbows into the mat. Feels as if the shoulder blades are moving towards each other to lift the heart up. Opening the throat, opening the front of the body. Keep the legs strong. Feel as if the mind is melting into the mat as the crown of the head makes contact. Deep breaths. One more. Catch the back of the thighs, press into the elbows, tuck the chin, and slowly come out of it. Good. And from here you can either take a backward roll, or you can rock up to seated. Let's take a Vinyasa. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do headstand, so lower the knees. Elbows come down, interlace the fingers. And we're going to come, before you put the top of the head onto the mat, tuck the toes, lift the hips. And you can stay here, working on the shoulder strength, or you can tuck the chin, bring the crown of the head to the mat, and walk the feet towards you, so that the hips are coming over the shoulders. You can stay here, or you can work your way into headstand, finding the straight line as you press the elbows down into the mat, so that the shoulders are stabilized and not collapsing towards the ears. You want to try to engage the front body, pull the lower ribs in so that you're not coming into a back bend. And wherever you are, whether you're in the headstand or you're in the prep, see if you can bring the attention to the breath. Deep, steady breaths. Good. Keep breathing. Move the legs back a little bit to find a straight line. Good. You can take a couple more breaths there, and then if you'd like, you can come and try halfway for like a pike. And for that, you'll need to allow the hips to move back as the legs lower, so that you counterbalance the weight of the legs. Keep pressing the elbows down, drawing the lower belly in. You can go to that prep whenever you need to, with the feet on the floor. Good. Just a couple more breaths wherever you are. If you're halfway, try to go inhale all the way up one more time. And exhale. Let's all make our way to child's pose. Don't bring the head up right away. Stay in child's pose for a moment. Inhale, coming out of it, let's come into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come to seated. Good, let's come to a seated position. You can come to full lotus if you'd like. Good. And let's just stay here for a few breaths. You can have the hands on the knees, or more conventionally, you can have the wrist on the knees with the pointer towards the thumb. And settle into a breath here. Feel the sit bones rooting down, plugging into the earth, and the spine rising up vibrantly, effortlessly. Gently dropping the chin towards the chest, just a little bit to spread the base of the skull. Keeping the tone in the vocal cords for your Ujjayi breathing, and keeping the lower belly drawn in. Fall into the rhythmic movements of the breath as the breath moves in and as the breath moves out. Following the breath all the way through the inhale, all the way through the exhale. Lengthening and deepening the breath. We'll finish with some Nadi Shodhana. So the right hand, you're going to fold the middle finger and the pointer finger down. The thumb will be used to close the right nostril, and the ring finger will be used to close the left nostril. So all together, let's take a deep breath in through both nostrils, drop the chin, find a straight spine. And as you exhale, you're going to close the right nostril, exhale through the left. Switch sides, close the left, inhale through the right. Close both nostrils, hold for just a moment, and then exhale through the left. Close both and hold. Inhale left. Close both and hold. Exhale right. Close both and hold. Inhale right. Close both and hold. Exhale left. Close both and hold. Inhale left. Close both and hold. Exhale right. Close both and hold. Inhale right. Close both and hold. Exhale left. Close both, hold. Inhale left. Close both. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale both. Release the hand, exhale through both. And fall back into Ujjayi breath at your own pace. We'll just take a couple of deep, full breaths here. And gently releasing the tone in the vocal cords, release the lower belly, and just allow the breath to be natural. Release the tension behind the eyes, in the jaw and in the throat. Stay here as long as you'd like, and whenever you're ready, you can make your way to Savasana. And if you're in Savasana, allow the legs to be wider than the hips, the feet to be wider than the hips, and the hands to be a little bit wider than the feet. Completely relaxing the body. Feeling the back side of the body making contact with the ground. Just completely relaxing into that support. Stay here as long as you'd like, but if you're ready to move out, you can slowly start to wake up the body, deepening the breath, moving the fingers, the toes. And when you're ready, you can bring the knees to the chest. And just check in which nostril the breath is moving through. And fall over onto that side into a fetal position. So if the breath is moving through the right nostril, go onto the right side of the body. If it's moving through the left nostril, go onto the left side of the body. And slowly make your way to a seated position. You can close the eyes if you'd like. Just take one final moment here with the attention turned inwards, dropping into the space of the body, feeling the body, sensing the body, and all its sensations, all its vibrations, everything that's present in the body. We'll finish with the closing mantra. You can join or just listen. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantan Nyayena margena nahim mahishaha Go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam Lokha samasta sukhino bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for holding it down. How'd it go? Good? Good. Got a little sweaty at the beginning. Hopefully you guys